What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode number 62 now of the Leeds United Career Mode. And in today's episode, we have another 2 games for you. Apologies if you want to see 3 per episode. We will be going back to 3 per episode from tomorrow's episode. Because we are approaching the end of the season and most of the cup competition is done, I just thought it makes sense for us to be able to do 2 games an episode rather than 3. Because when we normally do 3, we normally have like cups in between that and other stuff to play in. But they've all finished, so literally we've only got the Premier League to come. So I thought we'd do a couple of episodes with 2 games per episode. But we will be going back to 3 per episode from the next episode. So the first game of today's episode is against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park, which is an interesting one. Because if you remember, we have not a rivalry, but somewhat of very good games against Palace in the past. You know, you look back to last season when they smashed us 3-1 and then we beat them earlier on this season. So this is sort of like one of those games where it's been quite even between the 2 teams. You know, we've had a better season this season, of course, being undefeated so far in 28 Premier League games. With only 10 games to go, guys, we only have to make sure we do not lose 10 games and we will go the full season in the Premier League unbeaten. That will be absolutely mental. I think the only team we will have lost to in a competitive game would have been Fulham this entire season, which is just absolutely like crazy. It's just mental to the fact that we could have, if we do go unbeaten, if we've only lose to Fulham in the entire season, and they're a championship team, that's pretty damn crazy. But you can see the 2 teams as they do, in fact, come out, and it was going to be no easy game, this one, in all honesty, against Palace, because Palace have a very good side, you know. They're a very strong side in terms of physicality, and they're a very tall side as well, Pardew's side. So going into this one, I knew we'd have to play to our best if we were going to beat them. You can see their team as it is on your screen right now. No Benteke, as I do believe he has actually gone to Everton to be the replacement for when they sold Lukaku over to Manchester United, which means I'm not sure who they've actually got up front today, Palace, but we'll have to wait and see. You saw it on the team lineup there, but I can't quite remember who it was. But it means that we will not have to be facing Benteke, who was one of the players who actually caused me a bit of danger the last time we played them. However, it was actually Palace who controlled most of the early proceedings in this one and really deserved to go ahead there in the 18th minute for an absolute wonderful strike. But then the rebound is brilliantly saved by Leno. Now, I have to say, Palace dominated me in the early 40 minutes. But, guys, if you've got someone between the sticks like Bernard Leno, you guys are in for, like, a very, very solid goalkeeping performance. You can see Palace have chance after chance after chance. 39 minutes in, now he goes. Paredes picks up the ball, gives it to Zaha. Zaha on the right-hand side cuts it inside to Paredes again. He gets onto it, smashes his shot goalwards. Leno makes a save from the corner. They whip the corner in. I believe it's a centre-back who actually wins the header in the air. Oh, it's Franco Di Santo they got from. What the hell? Franco Di Santo, ex-Wigan player up front. Anyways, you can see, by the way, Palace controlled most of that early half. I don't think anyone had a chance in that first half. So I looked to come back out in the second half. I swapped the formation around a little bit. I think I went to a 4-3-3, I think I went to at this point. And then Iwobi gets the ball on the left-hand side, gives it to Emery Moore. Emery Moore into Eriksen, and how about this? The amount of times I've spoken this series about having a goal-scoring midfielder like Christian Eriksen in your team is absolutely unbelievable. And he did it there again for us. Guys, Anybody that you're looking for in terms of centre attacking midfielder, Eriksen has it, man. Eriksen has it, and he's free. This is what I need to get into you guys. He's free. You can get him on a pre-contract. This is ridiculous. Look at this strike from Christian Eriksen. Now, I'm going to say, you know, I would have said we probably wouldn't have got as many points as we have done this season, because Eriksen has been vitally important to us. If you remember way back, he obviously got that only goal that we scored in that game against Leicester, that 1-1 draw, which, if I look back to that, Leicester were the better team on that day and really should have actually won the game. You know, here Palace arguably have been the better side, and we are 1-0 up in this one thanks to a Christian Eriksen goal. So he has been an absolute wonderful player for us, as Kemar Roofe does in fact make it 2-0 through a lot of luck. The fact that the defender doesn't clear it there, I'd have been very frustrated with my defence if that had happened, so I'm sure Pardew won't be too happy conceding a goal like that. However, it was good from Kemar Roofe to not give the ball up and not give the chance away when he did in fact think it had gone wide or gone missing the chance. He got the ball back and smashed it past Mandanda in the goal. I think it was Tompkins actually made the mistake there for Palace, the ex-West Ham man, so poor from him. However, I will take that every day of the week. You know, to pick up a 2-0 victory, 2 shots, 2 goals in a game where we have been getting dominated for most of the proceedings here in the Premier League, I will take this, because this is one of those games where I should have lost. And I think if you're going to go unbeaten in an entire season, you need a lot of luck. You know, Arsenal had luck in abundance, the fact that they got a few penalties down the line and stuff like that. You know, we've had a bit of luck as well with the respect that we've had when we've come back from, you know, 1-0 down and stuff like that to win games. But the fact here that Palace dominated us and Leno between the sticks had an absolutely brilliant game, that's the luck that I've been getting, you know. So Leno, if he doesn't have another game, if he doesn't have a game like this and then, you know, doesn't save as many chances as he does, we end up losing this one, and that's our unbeaten run to an end. But the fact that he had such a good game in terms of goalkeeping today, and Palace has had a shocker, I was very lucky because, you know, we then get a penalty here and a chance to make it 3-0 as Mandanda would then have to face someone from the spot kick. I'm not sure who it was going to be at this point. I tried to give the penalty to Anwar El Ghazi. As you can see in a second here, I actually do look to my subs bench to see if he was on the bench. You can see me here, seeing who I wanted to take it with, and then I remembered, obviously, El Ghazi's still the top goal scorer in the Premier League, so I tried to swap him in and see if he could take the penalty kick for us, but he actually wasn't on the bench, which is a bit of an annoyance there, so I think in the end I take it with Eriksen, get him his second goal of the game if he does, in fact, finish it. But you guys know how poor I've been at penalties this season, or this series, for that matter. You know, FIFA penalties just, yeah, they're just not my cup of tea. But you can see Eriksen smashes that bottom corner, and we do, in fact, pick up a 3-0 lead in this game. Like I said, though, guys, Palace dominated me early on. They deserved to get the victory out of this, in my opinion. We only had 3 chances in the entire game, and we scored all 3 pretty much. So I have to say, very well done from us to be able to convert our chances into goals, but I wasn't, you know, we weren't too convincing in this victory so far. In this, you know, 3-0 victory that we're possibly going to get here, we weren't the most convincing of performances, but sometimes you have to sit back and you have to take these performances. If they get you a win, and you're not playing the best that you know you can be, if you get the win, that's the end of the day, all that matters, as Palace did, in fact, get themselves a goal. It was 62nd minute into the game. It only ended up being a consolation, but I tell you what, Palace deserves so much more out of this game. Fabinho with a strike. Leno makes a save yet again for us. Leno is just unbelievable, guys. Cross comes whipped in. Leno then punches it again. Eventually it comes to Fabinho, who actually catches Leno off guard and out of his goal to make it Palace 1, Leeds United 3, and that was basically going to be the end of the game because it was only a consolation. Palace, after this point, didn't manage to create anything because I think I went ultra defensive pretty much and sat back and made sure that we didn't actually concede, because we could have done, because, I mean, Palace, like I said, were absolutely brilliant on the day. Deserve so much more out of the game, but at the end of the day, I'll take it, and I'll take the 3 points that we're going to get out of this game here. As you can see, 90th minute, and that was all she wrote. And full 3 points coming away of ourselves. Also, another victory, and better yet, we're still undefeated. You can see, though, 5 shots, 5 on target to Palace's 9 shots, 6 on target. Leno was unbelievable, and I tell you what, guys, in terms of pre-contracts, I am thrilled with the players that we've managed to bring in. Eriksen's been absolutely phenomenal for us. You've seen the goals he's been scoring. He's been banging them in for fun. Then we've got Leno between the sticks, who's had a wonderful season here at Leeds, and we're still unbeaten. And effectively, he has been one of the greatest signings I've ever done in a career mode, let alone just in this one, ever. Leno's been one of the greatest signings I've ever made. So I'm thrilled with him. We've obviously got the likes of Eriksen, who I've spoken about. Remy's been brilliant as well. He's scored so many goals, and crucial goals at that as well. He's scored a number of goals that have got us back into games, one of which was against Stoke City, if you remember last time, because they were one of the sides that looked as if they were going to actually beat us and stop our unbeaten run. I made a mistake here, guys, going into this one against Stoke. I think I choose their red kit in the end, and yeah, it looks pretty much similar to ours when we go in game. I was thinking, what's not going to look the most similar and me not have to use my dark blue kit? It was either the light blue or the red and white stripes. And I actually went into game and didn't realise that the red and white stripes looks pretty much similar to our kit as well. So you're going to see I do make a mistake on this point, and it's really hard to tell the two players apart. So I do apologise for that one. It was very difficult for me as well when I was playing the game, because I struggled as well in the game to be able to tell this apart. In hindsight, I should have gone with my dark blue kit and I should have made them play in the red and white. I didn't do that because I wanted to make it as realistic as possible, and yeah, it's just my fault, so I do genuinely apologise. You can see the league table, 29 games, 20 wins, 9 draws, and no losses so far. Hopefully, 9 games to go, we won't mess up now. This is my only thing I've got to do. I just know I can draw games from here on out and pretty much still win the league, if obviously depending on results against Spurs and stuff like that. As long as Spurs have the results that go our way as well, we can pretty much draw every game, I think, and still possibly win the league. You can see this Stoke side have a very good team. But one of the things to note as well, Alban Lafont, one of the players we actually sold to Stoke, isn't playing for them today. He didn't play against us last time. It was actually Jack Butland in net for them. And he isn't playing here again. So I'm wondering if they have actually sold him. I'll have to take a look at the Stoke sub-bench in a second. You can see it coming up on your screen right now. Jack Butland is in goal for them. Is Alban Lafont? Yes, he is. Alban Lafont is on the bench for them. So they actually have Lafont on the bench, which I was a bit unhappy to see, because if he was still here at Leeds, he would probably be our goalkeeper. I wouldn't have signed Leno, but thankfully he did leave, because then that did pave the way for Leno to come into the team, which is very nice. 18 minutes in, though, Stoke did have the first chance of the game, but again, Leno, Mr. Reliable between the sticks, makes the save, and 58 minutes into it, nothing really happened in this one. It was more down to the kits, really, because I made the mistake, like I said. Telling the two teams apart was tough, so Origi gets the ball in the box here, has a strike, and what about that for a save from Jack Butland? That's an absolutely unreal save. We managed to get the ball back here. Anwar comes off the bench, I do believe, as we give it into like Remy. Remy into the box, takes the strike on, but again, Jack Butland equal to it, and another fantastic save from the Englishman keeps the score at 0-0, and that was the way the game would end. So a very boring 0-0 draw, most of that down to the fact that the kicks were very similar, and I find it very tough to really tell us apart. You can see we had 3 shots, 2 on target to Stoke's 1. That was the complete game done. Nothing happened. You compare that to the Crystal Palace game, the game before this, that was 10 times better. You know, so it's all swings and roundabouts right now. But I tell you what, another draw, I'll take it. Means we're still unbeaten, and we are now going into the last 8 Premier League games with looking to go unbeaten. You can see we're 13 points clear of Spurs with 8 games left to play, 20 wins, 10 draws and 0 losses, 52 goals, scored 15 conceded. We're miles out in front in goal difference as well. So if this goes down to points, goal difference wise, we are on top. So all we've got to do now, guys, is just try and not lose in our last 8 games, and we will be completely unbeaten in 38 Premier League games. So hopefully we'll get that done. Hopefully as well we'll be able to go unbeaten. If you have enjoyed this episode of Career Mode, smash that like button. As always, thank you all so much for watching and the support you're showing in the series. I have been Danny, and I'm out. Adios.